You're watching an Involve Me video on the Pipedrive integration. In this video, I will guide you through the steps on how to connect Pipedrive with Involve Me and how to use it. This integration lets you automatically add participants to your Pipedrive contacts and populate their person fields. There are two ways of accessing your integrations. The first one is by going to the top bar and clicking on Integrations, or alternatively, you can click on the arrow of the project you want to connect with, and then click on Connect. And then just by scrolling down, I'll try to find Pipedrive, and then I can just click Connect. Once I click Connect, I will be taken to my Pipedrive login screen if I'm not already logged in. So I'll input my Pipedrive details, and then you are met with this pop-up menu that essentially details the permissions that Involve Me will have on behalf of you. Once you've read through this carefully, you can allow and install, and just like that, you get the notification that Pipedrive was connected successfully. However, you can see we haven't connected it to any projects yet. So let's do that next. I would like to connect Pipedrive to my Find Your Perfect Mattress quiz. So now I will click on Connect in the top menu and then use the Pipedrive connection. And just like that, I'll click on Use Connection. And now I have a few more choices that I can work with. You can create a deal for each person. With this option, a new deal will be created in the selected pipeline for each person. And this is again up to you. But let's take a look at data mapping next. As you can see, this integration will automatically send the email and the default person fields to Pipedrive. If you want to send more data, you will need to add custom fields for people in your Pipedrive beforehand. So once we are in Pipedrive, we are going to navigate to the top right corner to our account and then click on Company Settings. Once we are here, we're going to click on Data Fields and then click on Person right here. And then you can actually click the plus icon and add custom fields. By clicking on it, you can configure any additional custom field that you may need. On your screen right now, you can see a brief overview of the corresponding field names for both Involve Me and Pipedrive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to map the outcome field and then select the field type, which will be text according to the legend I've just shown you. And then just hit save. And as you can see, once I've created the outcome field within Pipedrive, the message create this field in Pipedrive to map it automatically has disappeared, indicating that the mapping has been successful. If I scroll a little bit lower, I can see all the other fields that would be mapped automatically if I created them within Pipedrive. And of course, you can also map all these other fields, but you once again have to first map that inside of Pipedrive and then do it in Involve Me. Because fields like these are essentially predefined in Pipedrive, and these you need to define yourself. I'll interrupt the tutorial and come to you from the future to actually also show you how to create these custom fields inside of Pipedrive and then how to map it inside of Involve Me. In Pipedrive, you'll go to your profile, you'll go to Company Settings or Settings, then click on Data Fields, and then click on Person right here. And once you do that, you can add a custom field. Let's name this Custom Field Trial. And then of course you have to select a field type. For us, it is going to be text. Again, this would be whatever applies to your custom field. And then you click on Save. And then once I go to the Involve Me interface, these are the custom fields that are not mapped to anything currently. And if I click on it, I could map it to the custom field trial that we just created and then hit save. Now let's talk about some good to know facts when working with the Pipedrive integration. First of all, when setting up your integration, make sure you choose your right field names and field types, of course. For example, if you're adding a single option field, make sure that inside of Pipedrive, the field type is, well, single option. Next, if the same email is sent again, the existing contact is updated with the new data as long as there is one contact in Pipedrive with that email address. If there are duplicates, a new contact is created. Pipedrive also has a feature to merge contacts with the same email addresses. Once we have set all of this up, we can go to Responses of our project in the top bar and then click on Responses again, and then scroll a little bit down to find that our integration is live. I have just created a submission, so you can see that the status of my connection is that it is pending, but once I refresh this page, the status is now successful. If the integration icon is not present, that means that the project is simply not connected to the integration. If it is grayed out, it means that the integration is connected, but has not yet been triggered. Let's say that you had your project running for a while and only set up an integration halfway through your project. So as you can see, this is a submission from before the integration was set up, hence the integration is grayed out. What I can actually do is click on the integration, and then I can also check the checkbox to send for all submissions for which the integration has not yet been executed. So I check that, I send it, and then with a little bit of waiting, I will actually see that even for the responses, all of them that have not been triggered before, the integration has now been successful. And some other statuses include pending, which we've just seen, or that the integration has failed. If an integration has failed, it will have a description that you can use that will help you troubleshoot if necessary. So now if I navigate to contacts, for example, you can see that the bottom three, even though I didn't use the right names for this, are from my form that I've just submitted, ignoring the sample ones that were here from Pipedrive. Now that you know how to use your integration, let's talk about some of the most common issues that you might have when trying to use an integration. I'm going to be showcasing this with one random integration, but just so you know, these principles are applicable to pretty much every application that InvolveMe has. So let's take a look. Let's first talk about the opt-in checkbox and the only trigger integration when opt-in checkbox element was selected. This option is recommended to be ticked for GDPR purposes, but ultimately it is up to you whether you want the integration to trigger once user consent has been collected or not. What often happens is users enable this option, but then do not set up the checkbox properly in order for the integration to trigger. So in case GDPR or similar purposes are not of any use for this, we recommend not having this option triggered. However, if you do need to trigger it, let's actually take a look at how you would set this up. So I'm going to only trigger integration when opt-in checkbox element was selected, and I'm going to hit save. And once I hop into the editing part of my project, I'm going to look up opt-in checkbox in the elements and then drag and drop it right here. And then once I click on it, you can see under options on your right side, the send data to integration. So what you're going to want to do is click on this and find the integration that you would like to send the data to. Or if you have multiple integrations, by scrolling all the way down, you could just check all integrations and not have to worry about adding more integrations in the future. Also, make sure if you do put in this checkbox to have this enabled. Checkbox is required. Otherwise, your audience might fill in the form, not check the checkbox, and then what ends up happening is your integration doesn't get triggered. If you set it up like this, the integration will only be triggered once a submission has been completed and the audience member has also given the consent on the opt-in checkbox that triggers the integration. If the opt-in checkbox was not selected, then the integration will not trigger even if the participant finishes the project. If you do not need to gather user opt-ins, simply do not tick this checkbox. And this way, the data will be integrated once the submission is finished. So how do you actually see the status of your integration? By going to Responses in the top bar menu, then clicking on Responses again, and then choosing the specific response. By scrolling down, you can see the status of your integration. As you can see, one of my integrations has been triggered and the other one has not. The successful trigger has been indicated by the check mark next to my integration. If the integration is grayed out, it means that it is connected but has not yet been triggered. There are two other states for integrations that you can see on your screen right now, and the other statuses include pending or failed. If an integration fails, it will have a description that will help you further troubleshoot the issue if necessary. Make sure to click on the exclamation mark icon to get more information about the error itself. So, what happens to this grayed out integration? Well, you can actually trigger the integration retroactively. By clicking on the integration, you can choose to send submission data to MailChimp or any other submission that you have manually simply by clicking Send Now. And of course, you do not have to do this for every single one of your past integrations. What you can do is click this checkbox, send for all submissions for which the integration has not yet been executed. You check this, Send Now. You can see that the status is pending, so that means that we're waiting for the integration to be triggered. And what will happen now is that this submission, as well as all of my past submissions, will be sent. Some other notes are that most integrations require an email address for them to work, but on your screen right now you can see the notable exceptions to this rule. Feel free to pause the video and see which integrations this is about. If you have any other more specific issues that you are having trouble solving, make sure to contact our support team and they will be able to help you in no time. And now back to the ending of the main integrations video. And just like that, you now know how to integrate Pipedrive with InvolveMe, and you're set to streamline your lead generation and sales processes. If you have any more questions, you can feel free to reach out to our support team or go to help.involve.me. And good luck getting involved.